Hi, so I've called the wrong place completely. And I was like, awesome, just want to have a chat? She was like, yeah, right, what are you?
When something happens, it's all her responsibility, it's all her fault, so...
All of the women. The thing is, it's not shocking in the slightest, because the thing is that, like, this isn't me saying anything badly about some of the women or guys in there who've got kids, because, like, they're the ones that I'm talking to at least are really trying to get better. Yeah. But, like, some of them have got 3 or 4 kids, and, like, when you're reading these people's case files and you're like, you've got kids, where the fuck are they and what the fuck are they doing? And then you find out where they are and what they're doing and you're like, well, I'm not shocked. Because the thing is, like, it's a horrible cycle, because, like, the parents are fucking heroin addicts and crack addicts or doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
And, like, a lot of the time, to get money or to get, like, you end up with these dodgy partners and somehow, like, bait, like, it...
Sometimes, well, the thing is that a lot of those times it's not even just for money. Like, that don't worry,
no,
like, don't get me wrong, that does happen as well.
You win a partner or whatever, and it's...
And then something...
Things just happen. You have your face, you don't know...
And then you get pregnant and you go, oh my god, I actually really want this baby because I'm a human being and I want to have children and I love this child. But the thing is, you have the baby and then social services whips them right off of you. For good reason. Because, like, you know, you're not a healthy human being and you're not living in a property and you can't have children if you don't have a property because you can't bring a baby up on the goddamn fucking streets. That's not okay. But also at the same time, like...
Yeah, because there's a lady that's in Banbury that sells the Big Issue, and she sold the Big Issue for... I always can remember her being there. And she multiple times has been pregnant. Whether the baby... What are you doing? Oh.
If she's homeless and has no fixed abode, she doesn't keep those babies.
You don't know whether the baby's still there.
She might have visitation. This is the other thing, is that if they can't necessarily keep their babies, whoever gets them, she can go, if she's got no risk factors for the children.
But the Big Issue is failing if she's been on that for so long that she's not managed to get
out of it.
There's something.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. The thing is that if she's got some kind of residency, then she'll be getting benefits. If she's getting benefits, and that means that she'll be getting income as well as the a lot of it as well is that once people have been institutionalised, I can't think like that for so long.
Day 62. You should have heard Oliver when I went outside. He was like, what? That was funny. Sorry, I went outside to film the 62 because it's day 62.
Do you want to know another fun thing happened today in that ilk, Ellie?
What?
I got a phone call this morning. I answered the phone, and it was like, "Good morning, me and Oliver speaking. How can I help?" And then the lady was actually just like, pause. Hi, so I've called the wrong place completely. And I was like, awesome, just want to have a chat? She was like, yeah, right, what did you want? I don't know who she was trying to call, but it wasn't us. I think it was a different service that was part of our housing association. But the thing is, she was like, oh, have you got this woman living here? And I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, oh yeah, so I was trying to get her into a women's refuge a couple of weeks ago, and it turns out that she's actually been done for arson, so she couldn't go there. And I was like, what? Oh, that was funny. Because we didn't know. That wasn't,
she
that
was
wasn't on the
allowed
file, that wasn't on the info, that was on the...
Is that
the
going on the
database.
file now? Are you going to contact the person?
Well, I was literally just like, have you got any more information about that? And she's like, well, Women's Refuge didn't give me anything. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's,
Great, we're going to do a bit of digging on that one.
that's concerning. I'll go make some phone calls. Anyway, see you later. Have a nice time. Hope you homeschooling your kids is okay. Beep. Writing that down. Thank you very much. No, it turned out actually it was the two people with the same name who were both in the same place and both had the same thing flag up. But we think that the thing that was flagging up, which was potential arson risk or potential fire risk, was just because they smoke. But apparently they got refused because of this potential arson risk thing flagging up because nobody had explained
What it means.
what that potential risk meant.
But
'Cause
surely,
for some places it could just mean that they smoke, so they're a potential fire hazard.
but surely that's 90% of your population of that building.
We put ashtrays in the fucking flats. Because they can't smoke in there. But like this, yeah.
Was
It could be that, although the other thing it could be is
Well, you
she
could do-
accidentally
it's-
set fire to
It's their
somebody's
own
place.
house kind of thing, isn't it? Like, it's
Yeah.
their own flat, they can do whatever they want.
Pretty much. Also, like, minimal rules, I think, is the general vibe of that place. Because one of
It's
the...
just, I think, you avoid confrontation, you avoid anything that's kind of unnecessary.
Well, the thing is,
Crap you've got to
so the way
sort out.
the way that my manager explained this to me, which I thought made so much sense, was that these people have lived their entire lives, usually within institutions and services, where they've got to the positions they are today because the rules don't work for them. And they've been constantly faced with authority figures that are telling them what the rules are and telling them off, and in highly authoritarian environments. So as soon as you start going, these are the rules, you have to do this, you have to do that, if you don't do this, and there'll be these consequences, and they'll just say fuck off.
But also it's unnecessary, like a lot of the stuff, it's,
Unnecessary.
you've got to kind of, in that kind of circumstance, you've just got to do what's dangerous and what's going to harm other people. It's not,
It's about harm reduction,
yeah.
and it's about talking to them.
They're
And
humans, they're not like, they're there to get better, they're not there to be bossed around. And you know how much
Exactly.
people resent.
power and bossiness. Like the whole idea is about teaching them, is about helping them. It's not about directing them.
But like, we can smoke here if we really wanted to. Well, we can't in this one, but certain houses they're like if you're in a normal place, you just have to pay extra whatever to have it de-smoked afterwards.
I also listened to them when I was pissed, and then when I started working at the nightclub, I was sober when I was listening to them, and at first I was like, oh, this isn't as good as I remember when I was drunk, and then it got to a point where I was like, yeah, I can groove to this shit.
Yeah. I can't believe before this whole lockdown thing, I decided